we're seeing some really nice incremental improvement. Let's talk about it. Let's look at the tank race. Let's look at everything else. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, make sure you follow. If you're on the podcast, make sure to give a 5-star review. I would appreciate it. All right, so the Utah Jazz lose to the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. It was with Keyonte George, without Isaiah Collier and the other standard players that are out. I don't think we're going to see Lauri Markkanen in the rest of the season, and here's why. For one, Utah now stands pretty solidly in the 5th spot. New Orleans is going to keep winning basketball games at a higher rate than the Jazz. And basically every other team here, if you look at the records here, by the way, we don't appreciate Tankathon enough. Literally, that's part of this show and what we do. But anyways, you go here and you see that New Orleans is going to keep winning. They're likely going to end up in kind of this 10th spot. I don't know if they'll outpace Milwaukee. We'll see. Milwaukee with Giannis back may make a late push for the playoffs. We'll see what they do. It's not particularly clear, but they are going to get to like this 9th spot. That said, Dallas and all these teams, I don't know if they're going to outpace the Jazz in losses if the Jazz make sure that Lauri Markkanen is out for the season, and if they rest strategically Keyonte George and probably Ace Bailey now with how he's playing against some of these teams. So pretty interesting. Now, where I'm interested is Utah is 19-45. I think they have 2 wins left on their roster at most. Is there an you know why? Is there an you know why? Because of this. Because of this. There's an echo. I am sorry. Because of this. There's an echo. I am sorry. Let's see. Let's do that. That should fix it. Are we fixed? Let me know. Sorry, I had the Twitch stream up, and I think that's what was causing the echo. It should be better now. Let me know, Jazz Forge. But anyway, we are going to keep going. So, man, why is it like all underwear all the time on my hats? What is going on? If you're watching live on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's see. There we go again. Okay, whatever. I guess we need a promo code here. Underwear by the Hoops Nerd. It's, I don't know, hoops wear. Anyways, Utah, let's see. Let's go to the NBA, the remaining. This is going to ruin my life. It's going to ruin my life. All right, there we go. Okay, so the Utah Jazz. If you look here, the easiest opponents for the Utah Jazz, their remaining schedule, they are likely, I mean, I don't know how they beat the Washington Wizards unless they just rest everyone. And then there's also the Sacramento Kings probably winning these 2 games. I hate it. If I had my way, the Jazz would lose every game for the rest of the year. But then you look at this, they're going to lose to the Pelicans, most likely going to lose to the Grizzlies. We just lost to the Bucks, going to do it again, and we're going to lose to the Trailblazers. So really, there are like 2 wins left on the roster, and Utah should not mess around with these other teams. They should not. Lauri Markkanen should be out for the year. I don't care. It's really like the season should be done, if we're being honest. You look at Washington, they've got some easy games, but they're just so bad. I don't know how it's going to work. Why I say this is Brooklyn won tonight. They beat the what's it called? The Detroit Pistons tonight. And now when you go look at Brooklyn's schedule here, look at this. They have the 25th ranked schedules for tanking. In other words, they have the 5th easiest schedule to end the year. You look at who their easiest, look at how many of these games they have left. They got 2 against the Kings. They got the Indiana Pacers, the Wizards, and they may potentially. So if Utah can figure out, I mean, they should have lost both times to the Wizards if they could have. But if Utah can figure out how to lose one of these games so that they only win one more game the rest of the season, I think they have a shot to overtake Brooklyn tonight, who is now just 3 games up on them. Because Brooklyn, I think, has look at this. What, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins left. If Utah can just lose one of those games against the Wizards or the Kings, and they play the Kings in Sacramento, I think. Let's go to the Utah Jazz schedule. So Utah, open this baby up. Kings is on Sunday, March 15th. And yep, that's 8 o'clock. So that is a Sacramento game. Utah needs to just not even send Keyonte George and Isaiah Collier. Collier will destroy the Sacramento Kings. They shouldn't send him. They shouldn't. They should win. They should lose that game. The Kings can have a light the beam night on the 15th. And Utah should not win that game. They should not. And if they can lose that game to the Sacramento Kings, and they can come home and have only 1 win left on the schedule, 20 wins for the rest of the season, that's massive. And then if they can get the 4th spot, then it has been mission successful for the Utah Jazz. They will 100% not be able to lose their pick. Why? They can only drop 4 spots total. And if you're at number 4, the lowest you can fall is 8. And more likely, Utah only gets jumped by 1 or 2 teams. That's the most likely outcome, right? So you are ensuring also probably the 5th or 6th pick, which is also a very good thing to do because there is really good players from 6 to 9. Utah needs to get the best option out of all of them. I have all the hope and just hope that the Utah Jazz jump in the top 4. We all do. Obviously, that's what we want. But we've got to prepare for the worst and be excited about the best, right? Let us be pleasantly surprised by some luck for once, but expect the worst. And that's how you are going to succeed. Because if Utah can get into the 6 to 9 range, that means they have the best option out of all the draft prospects. And you can bet there are going to be some prospects that are going to be good. There are teams out there that get really good players from that section, and that's all the Jazz need is a really good player, like a really good starter. Because I think Keyonte George has a chance to be All-NBA next year. I think that Utah has a great prospect in Ace Bailey who's showing great things right now. That's what you need. Just to cover the Bucks, I will say it is tough for Bucks fans right now. I don't know. This is the worst situation to be in. What the Bucks are in right now is what the Utah Jazz would have been in had they not traded Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert when they did. I love you, Malik. You just want to get a rise out of me from Twitch. Nuggy9098. Every time Giannis was at the free throw line, I pulled out my phone and set a stopwatch. Nice work, Nuggy. Nice work. Everyone on Twitch, you are doing great stuff. Thank you. And everyone on the live YouTube as well. So, anyways, I just think that this Giannis situation is terrible. Everyone around him is just average at best. I mean, I think the second best player is Miles Turner, and he played pretty well against the Jazz. I mean, the Jazz are not trying to win, and he went 1 for 4 from 3. This has been a disastrous signing, by the way. Just pretty disastrous for this Bucks team. Kuzma, he had a nice night shooting the ball tonight, so you got to give Kuzma some credit. And Ryan Rollins has been a nice story for them, although tonight the percentages weren't great. Near triple-double for him, though. And Ousmane Dieng, he shot the ball really well tonight. So there's some nice stories with this Bucks team. They're just not an impactful team. They don't seem to have that impact that can really take them over the top. With Giannis back, that makes any team better, right? Any team that has Giannis playing is going to be a much better team. But the surrounding cast is good at best, right? And at a certain point, that it's just not going to go very far, even in the Eastern Conference. I mean, having Giannis gives you a shred of hope for sure. But how much hope you have is, I mean, you're not expecting to win a title. I mean, anyone who thinks the Bucks are going to win a title, I would probably not put money on that. But yeah, it's a tough spot to be in. You know that the end is coming. They have no picks. They have no real chance. I mean, I guess they can tank this year. It's like the only year they kind of control their pick, but it's pretty rough stuff for Bucks fans, and they really should not be making any moves for the future, keeping Giannis anymore. My guess is he's probably gone this offseason. It's rough, and if there's been anyone that's kind of fallen in public perception more than Giannis lately, I don't know who it is. The trade stuff with Giannis is the same stuff that happened with Donovan Mitchell. It's pretty weird, and we know how that went with Utah. Didn't go well with Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, it's just the buck stops here, basically, right? It's just not great. It's not great, and you know it's over. I mean, all Bucks fans probably know deep down it's kind of over. And they did what they could. They just made some bad moves. You know, you made desperate moves. That's why what the Jazz are doing right now is the best possible outcome. Because I heard someone say it might have been Zach Lowe or someone, I can't remember. It might have been Bill Simmons. I think it was someone on Bill Simmons, actually. But it was a good point that the best trades happen when you're not under pressure and you don't need to. That's why teams like the Jazz can trade good players when they want, and it's okay to wait. But the worst trades happen when you're desperate. And that's kind of what has happened with the Bucks. They've always been desperate to just win as much as they can to keep Giannis happy. And that's why a lot of these trades have not been great. They just have been the best possible trade, and they had to do it. Instead of being able to say, you know what? Probably shouldn't be trading Jrue Holiday until we get something better. You know? It is what it is. And the Damian Lillard trade was interesting, but that didn't work out. And I mean, it's just been bad. It's been bad. For the Jazz, though, things are on the uptick. And the name of the game today was bad shooting. Utah shot the ball very poorly tonight. 34 from the field, 24 from three for the team. No one shot the ball well. We're just seeing the wear and tear of a long road trip. But we saw some incremental, really nice things. The first is Cody Williams had his first double-double of the season, 13 points, 11 rebounds. This type of thing does not happen earlier in the year when better players were playing. Now you get this prospect to develop, and the best thing we're seeing from Cody Williams is on the defensive end. If he can figure out the shooting, if he can get a consistent three-point shot, then he becomes a real weapon. And that's kind of the name of the game with this. If the shooting can uptick. With Cody Williams, it turns him into a really nice rotation player. Really nice. Kyle Filipowski also did not shoot the ball well. No one shot the ball well. But we're on the uptick Jazz Forge because our best players are not playing right now. Our best prospects are. And we're working towards getting another top-tier prospect. And so if you look at this Jazz team, at minimum, let's say the Jazz go to the playoffs next year. They will go to the playoffs. Barring any catastrophic injury, even if they had a catastrophic injury, I really think like the core piece of this Jazz team, the spoon that stirs the cider is Keyonte George. Now, if Keyonte, heaven forbid, knock on wood, all the things, has a catastrophic injury next year, things could go pretty bad, depending on who they draft. But if not, I think Keyonte George has a chance to be all NBA next year, and this whole team is going to be good. You look at who is going to play. So, for the Jazz, Keyonte George, Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., those three are like the three best players on the Jazz. Then you've got Walker Kessler, who will start at center. At worst, you have Ace Bailey, Svi Mikhailiuk for depth. And then let's look at who else is potentially going to get minutes. Tell you what, I think you definitely have to put in there Cody Williams. Let's see. That's 7. Was I at 7? Markkanen, Key, Jaren, Walker Kessler, Ace Bailey. This year's draft pick. Svi Mikhailiuk. That's 7 players right there. Like if that's a playoff roster, that's a good playoff roster too, by the way. That's size mixed with shooting, defense, a lot of play. I mean, you're going to lack a little bit of playmaking, but the size is going to be a big deal. I cannot wait to watch teams. I mean, I cannot wait to watch teams try to handle a front court of Walker Kessler, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Lauri Markkanen. That is going to be, I mean, I think Utah, one of the biggest things they should be doing next year is just crashing the offensive boards. Who's out rebounding that? I know Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't the best rebounder, but just being big and being somewhat near the basket, he's going to get a lot of those. Walker Kessler, if he plays at a high level rebounding the ball, should have just a huge impact on games. If Utah wins the lottery and gets 1 or 2, and they come out with Darren Peterson or AJ DeBonsa, you can just see how this is going to be crazy. I think if Darren Peterson gets drafted, he's quicker to impact games, and he's just an incredible shooter, incredible off-ball shooter. I just have a hard time I kind of personally want Darren Peterson, but I'm happy with DeBonsa too. Just so the comments don't go crazy. Whatever you want is fine. I think I personally just would go with the upside, and I think Darren Peterson's upside is like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm not kidding. He's just unbelievable. He's not as good at drawing fouls as SGA, but he is like a better three-point shooter. And just, I don't know, he's just so dynamic. And if Utah can keep him healthy, if he can, I don't know. There's some worry about the health, I guess. But that's why DeBonsa's probably the number one. He's like a for sure thing. He's just going to be really great. The question is how great. He has top 5 potential. That's for sure. Either way, in fact, you may think about AJ DeBonsa because of the defensive factor with just the size. Like, could you imagine the playmaking of Keyonte George with AJ DeBonsa? Like, DeBonsa at the 2, it's crazy. The size of the Jazz really would be like the Rocky Mountains. Trying to like rebound against the Jazz, especially offensive rebound against Utah's never giving up an offensive rebound at all. And then if they are just like, I mean, just the amount of size, it's crazy. Oh, and Isaiah Collier. That's like 8 guys. Isaiah Collier is going to play next year for sure. I was missing him. And Vince Williams, if he comes back. I like Vince Williams too. Oh, that injury sucked. Hopefully he's okay. You know, but he'll be someone you ease in, and then I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some minutes. And that's, you know, before we even talk about Cody Williams and other guys. And Blake Hinson definitely needs. Rock, Key, man, that's pretty good. But who's the Rock? Rocky Mountains. Pretty good. Locky Mountain. I don't know. There's something there. There's something there. I got to figure out how to get another screen for this. Do I need to like a 4th screen? Nuggy, thank you for loving these shows, by the way. All you guys on Twitch, really appreciate it. Let's see. So, anyways, the incremental improvement we're seeing is not on the shooting, at least tonight. Tonight was not that. But it was in this. Look at this. 11 rebounds for Cody Williams. 12 for Filipowski, who will also be on the roster, by the way. Potential, you know, just more size, shooting, and all-around playmaking. Shibwe, I don't know if he's going to be on the team next year, to be honest. I don't know if there's a spot. Ace Bailey will be. And what I loved about Ace, look at this. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. And he had 5 turnovers, but that's because they're allowing him to handle the ball, and it's looking pretty good. Yeah, the ball is getting turned over here and there. I don't care. It's important for him to do these things. It's fantastic. Just things that he would never be able to do before, he's being able to do now. And he may be doing that a lot with a second unit next year. Like, I could see Ace Bailey playing 26 to 30 minutes a night just as the 6th man. And if he's playing well and shooting well and defending well, then he finishes games. And then who knows? Maybe he does just... If Utah goes 6 to 9, then I think Ace Bailey starts. If Utah gets like 1 to 3... If Utah's like 1 or 2 in the lottery, then I think Ace Bailey's coming off the bench. If Utah's like 3 to 8 in the lottery, then I think that he's starting. I think that's what it is. But either way, he's going to get like 20 to 30 minutes a night next year, if not more. If the shooting, he's got to improve the shooting so it's more consistent. But what's really exciting is the defense. And I was going to say, Will Hardy made a special shout out to Ace Bailey tonight for his defense because he was one of the only ones holding people from getting the rim. He got fouled out, he said, because he was making up for the mistakes of other players on the floor. So one of the things that's going to keep people on the floor for this Jazz team next year, one, are you hitting your shots? And two, are you defending? And you better be doing at least one of those. Otherwise, you're not going to be playing. That's why someone like Sensabaugh, I think he'll probably be on the roster. But tonight he had a good night, 17 points. But he's been having a rough year. So we'll see. But, you know, Utah's going to have so much depth next season. Just so much depth. And honestly, so much depth and so many young players that they may need to do some sort of consolidation trade. Is there another move out there you can make next year that really consolidates things and gets you maybe another rotation guy? You know, is there a disgruntled high-level player out there you can get? Like, there's going to be a team next year that has good players that falls apart. You know, there's going to be a team. And if Utah can take advantage, that'd be great. Can they go sign LeBron James? Like, for real. Wouldn't LeBron James be the perfect ad for this team? Just add him to this squad. Let him kind of, I don't know. If LeBron wanted to be with a young athletic team that can make up for his old age, this would be the one. It'll never happen, but it would be a smart move. It would be a smart move. Yeah. Let's see. So Ace Bailey, just like I said, he's doing these different things. He's contributing in big ways. He's scoring more. He's looking more comfortable. It's fantastic. And I am grateful that the Jazz are tanking right now for the pick, but also for the development. It's multiple things happening that are helping this team more. Keyonte George also struggled to shoot the ball tonight, but he showed one of his elite skills, and that's getting the line. Look at that. 13 free throws for Keyonte George. So even on a night where he shot 23% from the field, he scored 22 points on 17 shots because of the ability to get to the line. Pretty phenomenal. It just shows that when Keyonte George is hitting those shots, he is just a lethal weapon. He really is. I don't think people know how good he's going to be next year. Now, there's going to be a huge weight on his shoulders. What happens if Keyonte George takes another leap next year? So which is not out of the question at all. Keyonte George is 22 years old. He's just 22. He has not even hit his prime yet. So he makes the big leap this year. We've talked about this a lot. But his field goal percentage has gone up 6 percentage points. What happens if this gets to like 47, 48? Like 2 percentage points, 3 percentage points better because he's just taking better shots or getting easier shots because of the gravity of Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen? Does that push his 3-point percentage up? What if it goes up to 38 or 39? All of a sudden, you've got yourself just an absolute just weapon. Get ready for all NBA key. The key to the process is Keyonte George. If he develops just a little more, and if that defense is just a little bit better, incremental, little steps, inching your way just a little bit, it really makes a huge difference. And he's the type of guy that does it. We have already seen that. He's already improved himself already in a big-time way. He is also, I saw Tony Jones mention he's going to be a max player, and I agree. He is a max player. Utah is going to have all of a sudden, Utah is going to have an expensive roster. And it won't be a problem next year or probably the next. But, you know, if you have, like, Ace Bailey take a leap, and if they win the lottery this year, things get interesting, you know? So we'll get to the playoffs next year. We can finally rest easy knowing that Lauri Markkanen will play in the playoffs. Something that I guess media tried to scare Jazz fans about. I don't know. But it's going to happen. They might trade him in 2-3 years. We'll see. He'll be like a $50 million expiring contract. I don't know if the Jazz are going to give him another one. It just kind of, that's why this lottery is just so consequential in so many ways. If the Jazz win the lottery, it just puts them into the upper echelon of the NBA. It'll be crazy. Wouldn't it be crazy if the Utah Jazz are like the New England Patriots of the NBA next year, where they go from because the New England Patriots, what did they get? They got Drake May at like number 3. What if Utah gets like the number 3 pick and they get lucky and get like Darren Peterson because teams are scared? That's what I'm kind of hoping. Or number 4, they get Caleb Wilson and he comes off the bench, but that guy looks like baby Garnett. He looks unbelievable. He's my favorite player in the draft, guys. I love Caleb Wilson. I love him. There is a part of me that wants the Jazz to fall to 4, like to jump but get the 4 pick, so they have to pick Caleb Wilson, because I kind of feel like there's a world where he's the best player from this. He, to me, is like the Jaren Jackson Jr. of this draft, where he is going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He is going to be huge. He's long, athletic, just helps you. He's just a winning player. He's got everything you want. He's got everything that makes my heart happy. He just wants to win. He wants to destroy the other team. He dunks everything. He just has like this just killer mentality. I just want that guy on the Jazz. I want that guy on the Jazz so bad. And if you get Caleb Wilson and you give him a year or 2 to develop, that's kind of a scenario where like Lowry probably gets traded, and you put it's just crazy how good this Jazz team could be. They're going to be good starting next year, and the window is big. They're going to be good for like 5-6 years, and that's what this tanking allowed them to do. Now the window is there. They maybe can jump through it. They could maybe make some trades or do some things to like really like get over the top and just honestly win the championship potentially. I really think the Jazz have an actual shot this time. It's crazy. And think about that. They've already won the Minnesota Timberwolves trade. Keyonte George comes from the Minnesota Timberwolves trade. Walker Kessler comes from the Minnesota Timberwolves trade. Would Utah trade Keyonte George and Walker Kessler right now for Rudy Gobert? No way. No way. No way. You know who would do that trade? The Minnesota Timberwolves. Because what do they miss? They lack a point guard, and they probably would find Walker Kessler. He's not as good as Rudy Gobert defensively, obviously, but he's close enough. It's pretty crazy how well that turned out for Utah. And then Ace Bailey, they get with their own pick. Lauri Markkanen from Cleveland. I mean, that trade, the Jazz had some cojones, I'll tell you that much. They have done some things during this tank that I was like, and I'm the radical tanker. I'm the radical. And I probably wouldn't have done it. But what they did was say, you know what, we're going to keep Lauri Markkanen because we don't want to get rid of good players, but we're going to get a star in this draft come heck or high water. And that's what they're doing. And I'm impressed with the just, what is the word? Just the brashness of it, just the lack of fear. I am impressed by what Utah's done. Now, I probably, if the Hoops Nerd would have done it, we probably would have traded Lowry a couple seasons ago to try to jump higher in the lottery. But I guess when all is said and done, it's worked out. And you know what? I was probably wrong because I didn't see the Jazz being able to lose all these games. I did not foresee the Jazz being willing to go through the pain of having Adam Silver attack the team like this. And so kudos to the Jazz. I'm impressed. I am impressed because guess what? The best of both worlds is keeping Lauri Markkanen and getting the pick. That's probably what the Jazz said. And, shout out to them. They did it. They freaking did it. Yes, bravado is the word. That's the word. It's impressive. So you got to give it to the Jazz. They had more bravado than anybody, and it's working out. And now Let's see. So we'll just like refresh here, make sure we're up 19 and 45. So let's pull up the old calculator. 19 plus 45, 82 minus 60 minus 64. Oh, is that it? Oh, no, that's 7. No. 82 minus 64. That's how many games left? 18 games left. So, yeah, 18 games left to potentially jump one more spot. But that's all that's left. So, Utah, 18 games. That's it. Hold strong. Can you just hold strong? 18 games. What is that? 3 games a week on average? 6 more weeks. In fact, is it 6 weeks? Utah's last game is April 12th. Wow. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is like exactly 6 weeks. So, well, not exactly, but about 6 weeks almost. So, yeah, we got 6 weeks left. Can we do this? Can we do this? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And you know what? The Jazz have the brashness to keep Lauri Markkanen, the bravado, like Jazz Forge said. Do we have the bravado to stare that evil Adam Silver in the face and say, we're going to lose this one to Washington, and we're going to lose this one to Sacramento? We aren't winning another game. Can the Jazz go on an 18-game losing streak? Maybe. Well, I guess it would be 19 games. It would start today. Can the Jazz do it, guys? Can the Jazz do it? We shall see. We shall see. The bravado, the brashness, it would be incredible. But being able to get to 4 would screw over Adam Silver in an incredible way, and I want them to do it. I hate Adam Silver. I want to stick it to that loser and get there. So that's what I want, and that's what I hope the Jazz do. All right, guys, that's probably it for tonight. That was fun. That was an impressive showing by our young guys who went up against, a Giannis who looked a lot better today. Giannis looked like Giannis today, and that was good experience for these young guys. So let's see. So let's start the music. Let's lower the volume so it's not too loud. Sorry about the echo at the beginning. I forgot. And shout out to Jazz Forge for letting me know, because I would not have known. So thank you. And shout out to everyone on Twitch. Really appreciate it. All right, so let's see. If the lottery was today, what would happen? Let's see. Utah drops 3 spots, but keeps the pick. Ugh. I guess Dallas gets the 4 pick. That sucks. But Utah gets the 8. Let's see. Nothing too crazy. That gives the Jazz my favorite player outside of like the top 4, and that's Nate Amen. Can I get an amen on the Jazz? I love Nate Amen. We talked about him last show. I love that guy. If we get Nate Amen, I'm happy with that. More size. More size. If Utah goes to 4 and they drop, then they get here. Look at this. There's people that really like Kingston Flemings, Keaton Wagler, Darius Acuff, Michael Brown Jr. sitting right there. Maybe the Jazz say, you know what? He's just the best player available there. LeBaron Filan is an option. He's having a monster season. I don't know. It works out well. Would it suck not to win the lottery again? Yes, that would suck. But maybe Utah wins it in the future with one of their other picks. Who knows? All right. Well, guys, let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. Thank you to all of you for the support. I really appreciate it. Let's refresh here just to make sure. While I refresh, like I said, make sure you like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. If you're on Twitch, give me a follow. If you're on the podcast, maybe give me a 5-star review. I would appreciate it. All right, let's give a shout out to See Ya, Lexa Later, Shake 'em and Bake 'em, KSNMW Fave, Ryan Perry, the legend, the name means king, Just Buckets 22, ball so hard, ball stat, Jace is the ace. Garner, Steve Areno, Stu Sir, let him cook sturdy pots. Ezekiel at Ricibe, the man from down under. Tyson Price, the price is right. Jordan the Goat Best Rule. Christian House Money to Haas. Robert Hall of Fame, Arcs Poetica. Austin R. Grant, editor extraordinaire. Jazz Forge, the OG. And Patrick Akubo, the connoisseur. Guys, it's been fun. 18 games left. Let's go. Let's stay strong.